Hello everyone. In today's video, let's discuss about embroidery threads. The most common question that people ask me is what kind of embroidery threads you use. So I use anchor threads, and these are among the best quality threads that are available in India. These embroidery threads are available on Amazon. So I will share the link of the threads that you can buy from Amazon in the description. Each thread has its own color code. So the color of the thread that I have taken in my hand is 843. So when you go to a shop and give them the number 843, you will get the same color. You can use Anchor shade card to understand the color and color code of the threads. For this thread, the number is 369. In this manner, each thread will have its own specific number. These numbers on the thread help us to remember the color of the thread as well as to identify them. You can cut out a small piece of thread and tie them with the tag that contains the number like this for remembering the color of the threads. Now let me show you how to pull out the thread from a thread bundle. For that, just take the tag that contains anchor, and on that side you can see both ends of the thread, a bigger end and a smaller end. Now if you closely look on the tag that contains anchor on it, you can see an arrow mark like this on that end. A tiny arrow mark like this can be seen, and on that side you can see both ends of the thread. Now hold on to the longer end of the thread and slowly pull it out like this I have shown in the video. This is the method by which we pull out the embroidery threads from the bundle. But there is a possibility that the threads might get tangled with each other. So for beginners, it is better to remove the tags first and then slowly pull out the thread as shown in the video. If you want to keep the number of the thread along with the color, you can just take out a small piece of thread, pass it through the tag, tie it and keep it with you for your future references. Now let's talk about the number of strands. You can see the thread that I have pulled out from the thread bundle. This strand of thread contains small 6 strands of thread. You can separate them out using your fingers as shown in the video. For some stitches you will have to use 6 strands, and for some other stitches you will have to double the number of strands and make it 12. In some of my videos you can see for certain flowers I am using 6 strands, and certain other flowers I am using 12 strands. So whenever you directly pull out a strand of thread from a thread bundle, it contains smaller 6 strands. Now let me show you how to use 6 strands for embroidery. Pull out required length of the thread from the thread bundle, cut it out with the help of a scissors, then pass the thread through the needle. Take one end of the thread and tie a knot on that end of the thread and keep the other end free. This is how we take 6 strands for stitching flowers. So when you take 6 strands for embroidery, one end of the thread will be knotted and the other end of the thread will be free. Now let's see how to double the number of strands. How to take 12 strands. For that, pull out the required length of thread from the thread bundle, cut it out with the scissors. Take the thread and pass it through the needle as shown. After passing the thread through the needle, take both ends of the thread together as shown and tie them together. So this is how we use 12 strands. In 12 strands, both the ends of the threads will be tied together and the needle will be on the other end of the thread. For some stitches, we will require the number of strands to be 3. For that, we have to separate out the threads from the thread bundle as shown. Pull out a required length of the thread, then separate out the 6 strands as shown. Separate them out as 3 and 3 and slowly pull them apart as shown to separate them out. This is how we separate out 3 strands. 3 strands can be used for doing branches, twigs and all, which are tiny stitches. You can use a thinner needle for using 3 strands. You can pass the thread through the needle, leave one end of the thread free and tie a knot on the other end of the thread. This is how we use 3 strands. Now let me show you some different stitches and the number of strands used for them. This is a woven rose and the number of strands used for woven rose is 12. For a straight stitch flower, the number of strands used is also 12. For a bullion rose, the number of strands used is 6. And for lazy daisy also, the number of strands used is 6. For the French knots, you can use the number of strands as 6 if you need the French knots to be very small. So if you check out my other videos, you can always see the number of strands I used for embroidery, also the number of threads that I have used for stitching. Please comment down your suggestions and doubts, I will reply to them. Like my video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We will meet in the next video. Until then, bye.